Good 4th of July morning, everyone. How is everyone doing on this Friday morning? 4th of July, 2025, episode 169. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great this morning. I'm in a good mood. I don't know why I'm in such a good mood. I think it's because I got the notification that the laser is sitting at FedEx in my town. Love this holiday and all, but I really wish FedEx would work today. No, those people need to spend time with their families. I don't mind waiting until tomorrow for them to get to spend time with their families. But I guess that's partly why I'm in such a good mood. Morning, Mr. Nick, Mr. Pete, and Mr. Keep It Scale Stupid. Morning, Mr. Sever 7. Heading to work? Love you too, bro. Pete, I'm not sure what that knife is that you showed in the pocket check. But, so let me know what that is when you hear this 30 seconds from now. Oh, it's the little Vosti. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is small. That's the one I said was small. Now I remember which one it is. Oh, running errands? Yeah, I should have figured you were off. I don't know why I said that. Just because you've been at work so much. Nick, tell your sister happy birthday. So, yeah, I had to do some thinking about this knife because it kind of confused me yesterday on why it did what it did, and I want to be able to replicate things. And it confused me, so I had to think about some things, and I don't know if I'm right, but it makes sense to me, and I can't really figure out how to get past it. I've thought of different scenarios, but so with normal electricity, when electricity is running down a line, it will just travel down any kind of connection it has. And so something like this in a normal electric circuit, I've got a degree in electronics engineering, so that's why I was kind of thinking about this stuff. But the whole reason I made this piece the way I made it, instead of making it, I could have made a hook that came in one side and just made a W, but then the current would be getting to one of the scales before it got to the other one. So what I did is I doubled it over in half. I twisted up this part all the way down the middle, and then I made these two little hooks so that when I connect down here, in theory, it should reach both scale at the same time. If I would have just made it one piece with a W in it, then it would have came into this side and it would have got to this one first and this one next. So in electronics, this should work great, and in a circuit board, this would work great. But I think since in reality what we're doing when we do an anode and a cathode and an electrolytic solution is we're basically shorting out that circuit. And so I believe it's going to take, when you short something out, it's going to take the path of least resistance. So when I hang both scales on here, it's going to pick one and it's going to start shorting on that one, and then it's not going to send as much current to the other side. It's going to keep shorting out through that one scale. So I think that's why we had different results, because this wire is about, it's way thinner than this other wire, and I just used one piece and it anodized it way quicker, just one scale hanging on there, than when I had both of them on there. I think it was confused about which way to route the current. So I've got to figure out, I could probably plug in 2 banana clips to my red and have 2 separate, cut this at the end and hook one to each one, and then it might work. I don't know. I'll have to do some more testing. But this wire is thinner than this wire, and all I did was hook this one and it finished, but it also took it back. I don't know how it did it so clean, finishing out where I had stonewashed it, so that kind of baffles me a little too. Good morning, Scott and John, by the way. But I'm happy with how it turned out. I just don't kind of understand it fully, but we're gonna figure it out. I like doing them both at the same time because I thought I would get consistent colors, but if I etch them all the same amount of time and use the same voltage, I should get pretty much the same colors anyway. But yeah, so there's that. I thought I'd address that this morning, but that was fun, experimenting yesterday. Yeah, happy 4th, everybody. So last night I carried this in my front pocket. It's one of my prettiest Tucson annos and one of the prettiest milling patterns they do. It's got a cool clip on it too. I need to adjust this knife, but the torques I had at work weren't quite cutting it. This one's pretty tight and I didn't want to strip them, so the lock bar is too tight on this, and it's hard to just even regular flick it, but you can just give up on trying to reverse flick it. There's no way humanly possible. But this is the TS, I think it's the 269 TS 269 and M390. Got that awesome harpoon blade shape. So that's what I carried in my front pocket last night. And that one has beautiful milling. I love that pattern. I like how they changed it around the pivot. Cool knife. And then in my back pocket, I had one that I worked on pretty much all night last night. And that was this new version of the bug out that I got. So this thing weighs 2.16 ounces. And has great action, except that the lockup is so good on it. So some of these bug outs have a little bit of vertical play. This one, they made sure they got it right, but it sticks a little bit when you really open it a lot. It's hard to get this crossbar lock, but I would almost like it be harder to pull the crossbar than to have blade play. So I really don't mind, but I kept taking it apart and sanding a little bit off of where it contacts the blade. And I kept taking a little bit off and then putting it back together. And this is a clone. This is a Lemifshi version, actually. Not really. I mean, they all sell the same ones. But this one had purple, so I got it. And like I said, it weighs 2.16 ounces. I did find out a super cool and easy way to take the blade out to work on it, to file on that surface last night, and this is super cool. So blade, if you ever have a bug out and you need to work on the blade and don't want to disassemble the whole knife, all you got to do is take the pivot out, and if it's like this one where the blade has a cutout in it for the bearings, then you can just pop out the blade and do the little work like I was doing right here on where it contacts it. And then you can get it back together super easily. So all I was doing was taking one of like my 1,000 diamond plates, and I was just holding this and just rubbing it back and forth across where it contacts there. And it still needs a little bit more, but not much. But it was such a pain to want to take just a little bit off and then reassemble it. So I figured out a real easy way. And it's only for these models where the bearings fit down in the blade. So if they don't fit in the blade, then you're kind of screwed doing this. But this is super cool and fast way to do it. So all you do is you set the bearings on there. And since I didn't disassemble the knife at all, you can hold the bearings with your fingers while you're pushing it in past the scale there. And once you get it right there, you're pretty much home free. And all you got to do is line up the pivot. It's got a D-shaped spot on the pivot. So you line up the pivot. Whoops. Pull back the thumb stud a little bit. Come on, pivot. I did this a bunch last night. You got to look and see which way the... Hold on. Now I forgot which side it needs to be on. It needs to be on that side. Yeah. So that's all you do. You just line up the pivot. You just slide it right back through and she's back together. Easy peasy. Don't have to worry about nothing else. And then I can tighten it back up and test the lock up, see if I need to take any more off. And that already feels better. Still no blade play. So anyway, that's what I had in my back pocket. That was a long story about a clone knife that I had in my back pocket. And I was telling you, okay, Pete, I'll go check it in just a second. I was telling you how they're getting way better with the boxes. So this is one of those cases where they've got the foam insert correct. So it came with the bag, the little access card, and they got the little foam insert. Looks better. But it comes with the little pouch and all that crap. I think this makes number 8 for me that I've got now. 8 different versions. This one, I don't know. It feels really good. This one has the best lockup out of the box, but it also had that crossbar lock stick because of the lockup. So when you really sling it out there, like I can't hardly pull those. So it still needs a little bit more off of it. I'm just being careful and not taking off too much at one time. And then also yesterday, so I showed y'all this yesterday that I got the day before. And also yesterday I got these two. Starting with the Kaiser Grazioso. This is a model that I've been wanting to get. And this one looks flawless. There's no marks on it, no snails, no scratches. Carbon fiber looks excellent. Blade looks unused. Awesome satin grind on the blade. It's got that little harpoon with the jimping that I love. Great 4-finger knife. And this Kaiser was one a lot of people, when I asked them what their favorite Kaiser was, a lot of people told me this model to check out, and it was one that I didn't have, so when I ran across a great deal on this one. I got this one and the other knife that I got here, which is a Tuya Knives Chicane Titan. When I ran across the deal for both of these for 110 bucks, I was like, heck yeah, do it, run it. So I got this one too yesterday. And this one was sold as a blim and actually has some marks on it. But since it's this model, I can just bead blast and it'll look back to factory again. But the marks this one has are back here on the back of the scales. Let's see if I can find it in the light. Ow. This thing has a crazy, I'll show y'all in a second. Right there you can see the marks. It's got some marks right along there. And they're actually not bad. It has those, and then on the top of the blade down here at the very end, it's got a little mark right there. But other than that, it was in perfect shape. I just got fingerprints on it. But you can see the grind on the satin on it. But yeah, check out that sharpening tool. That's what just poked me. It almost looks like a bottle opener, but it's not. Those are not smooth. Well, yeah, those are like scratches, Pete, or divots or something. But I think they'll blend in when I bead blast it a lot more than they do, and they're not bad. And like I said, for getting both of these for $55 a piece, when I think this one was $210 new. Yeah, it's super comfortable. I don't know what's up with that sharpening tool other than just a design aspect, but it was definitely made to follow those lines perfectly. But yeah, so getting both of them for half the price of what this one would have cost new was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna blast it as soon as this video's over today. They make 3 different versions of this, and some of the other versions have colored, these squares are colored. So luckily I got the plain one that I can just blast. So yeah, I'll make it look brand new again. Anyway, that's this one. This Kaiser, man, just has some of the smoothest action. Kaiser just, I don't know, man. Kaiser does their thing. And the lockup on the double clutch on this one is non-existent. Like, it gets onto the blade super easy, but the D10 is great on it. Oh yeah, I like that one. So those were good purchases. So that was yesterday's. This was day before. And this was last night's carry. Now, Pete posted something in the Discord. Let's see what Pete posted. Oh yeah, Pete. Well, first of all, Pete posted his new little marmoset, or whatever it's called. I don't think it's the marmoset, but a marmoset is a tiny monkey, so it should be called the marmoset. What's it actually called? I don't know. Yeah, it is the marmoset. Yeah, so when we were looking at that a couple of days ago on stream, I said it looked tiny and that I would prefer that larger one. But, you know, Pete, gotta have that blade shape, so Gotta get a tiny one. But yeah, he posted that picture and this picture. I don't know what he was showing in this picture. Best jimping. Oh, yeah, the jimping does look crazy good. I guess since it's so short, they were just like, we'll just put it on the whole back of it. I didn't even pay attention to the jimping in that picture. Yeah, looks like a user for sure. And then Scott did a pocket check this morning. Looks like red is the theme of the day. Some fine users there, Mr. Scott. Then what else did we got posted? Oh, the Supercell ×2. Why do you have 2 of them, Pete? Look at you all double fisting it. I see you. Nice. I like them. There's the picture I posted of my 3 acquisitions yesterday. Lou was asking about some knife stands. I told him he should 3D print some. Ed had a good day yesterday. He got a bunch of new beads in. So that's always a good day. So that's super cool. Yeah, so real quick, before we go to the drop point, which I've already got up over here, I just want to show y'all really quick. Thingiverse, when you type in knife stand, what all you get. So they have all different kinds that you can get to 3D print. And of course, you can modify the dimensions of the 3D prints pretty easily to make these longer. These little cross braces, you can make them longer really easy. But they have some really cool ones. So you can get ones to where you can hang them. That one actually says NAFS on it. Somebody put the NAFS logo, and you can put the clips over the back. But this one is an extension, so you can get that one, and then you get this square, and then you can extend and put 2 of them on there. So that's pretty cool. And then you can get ones you can get some crazy looking ones like this one that are shaped super cool. And you can resize all that stuff to make it. And then you can get single knife ones, just little simple ones like that. And designing one would be super easy too. Or you can get ones like this, like the Punisher one to hold knives. And there's all kinds of different ones. Like this one has a little round place at the front to hold the knife. You can get ones that hang on the wall for your bigger knives, just little hanging racks. You can make them skeletonized or not. Let's see what else. But all these 3D files are all free. All you do is download them and send them to your printer and start printing. But designing one would be super easy too. But there's whole Etsy stores that sell these things. There's a cool one that you can mount on the wall for your kitchen knives. But guys come up and make all kinds of these cool little things. Like here's one where one of the guy's holding a shield with knives going through it. So that's pretty cool. Little Spartan. So yeah, that's a thing. Super easy to do. Anyway, let's get over to the drop point and look what new folding knives are coming out. So that would be Monday, the Buffalo River from Rosecraft. Buffalo River Jack. So these two models right here. And then Overall Creek Farms. Rosecraft comes out with multiple knives a week, it seems like. And then today, the Unbow is going to be restocked, which is a super cool knife from a guy here in Tennessee. We've looked at it plenty of times. Also today, the Transient version 3 is going to drop. Yeah, G10 on a $1,200 knife. I can't get it. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I just don't. On that note, let me go pop over here and show y'all one thing. So the Waka, well look, I just popped up. The Waka is is being made right now, and he's picking the blade steel. And I wanted to hear y'all's opinion of VG10 because I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to go with. Oh yeah, Stassa did a review of that knife we looked at, that new
I love that.
This is the self end that we looked at the other day.
On the backside and
on Kubi OEM for White Mountain Knives for
in the titanium
one of my Reddit buddies, Shark Dad. He has a YouTube channel too.
You have a great reverse flick action,
but
nice
no flipper
action.
tab.
And then thumb studs. You can thumb flick.
I love the looks of that knife. We looked at it the other day.
And then you can also pinch in that thumb hole and do a drop down. I call this a medium-sized knife. It has a versatile low tip drop point, and this particular variation has a two-tone finish with stone wash on your primary and brushed satin on the flats. I think it looks really nice. This has a deep hollow grind, so it's going to be very slicey.
Yeah, it's a hollow grind too.
It's comfortable in the hand. You can kind of choke up here. It's a titanium frame lock. It's got nice grippy jimping up top. There's tons of internal pocketing in there to bring down the weight as much as they could, and it's a fairly lightweight knife. Here's a size reference with the Ontario Rat 1 and 2. The knife is around 7.5 inches overall. These are a collaboration with White Mountain Knives. They're going to be sold through White Mountain Knives. Whenever I know more information like the blade steel and price point, I will do another video. At this time,
yeah, it's going to have LMAX, but that was one. And then the post about the Waka is down here. And Lemifshy was curious about what people wanted. He's using he's using up the rest of his 154 cm for the whatchamacallit, but dang it, can't even remember. He asked if we'd like VG10 or D2, and the guy said VG10, so that the price will come down. But this is the Sharknivko Waka that he's making. I said 154 cm was my choice, but he's out of stock of it. He's using it with can't even think. The FSD. So the FSD that he's coming out with, he's using up the rest of his 154 cm. Yeah, John, I would like to see a premium version of the Waka, but people don't realize how nice of a knife the Waka is. Morning, William. They're all concerned about the FSD right now, and so the FSD gets priority because it's the next one coming out, and then the Waka will come out after that. But I don't mind VG10. It's not real VG10 because VG10 is a Japanese steel, and they can't get that in China, so it's a Chinese equivalent, and it measures almost exactly the same. Like, I forgot the percentages. It's, I commented on here somewhere and said, so it's kind of like M390 and 20 CV. It's just the Chinese VG10 is basically the exact same thing. I don't know where I commented where he said the. Oh, here it is. So it's 1% carbon and 15% chromium. It's called 10CR15's CO MOV. It's Chinese VG10. It's just like M390 and like Bowler's M390 and Crucible's 20CV and Carpenter's 204P. Exact same steel, same property, same performance, different manufacturers. That's how VG10 and 10CR. So anyway, it's probably not a bad steel, but I just, I don't know, when I hear VG10, I just get turned away for some reason. But thinking of this knife in G10 for $1,200 made me think about not really caring about a clone knife of a Waka in VG10. And then, let's see, these... Finch has the cherry bomb. I believe we saw it last week. Yeah, we did. Alright, so we'll skip that one. The Urban F.5 we saw last week. Same version again. Tactile is releasing a bronze Maverick. Alright. I guess that's bronze. The pivot and the screws are bronze, so that makes the whole knife bronze, I guess. I don't know. I don't really see... I mean, I might see a hint of some bronze in there. I don't know. It looks... Anyway. Straight razor scalloped. We saw that one. Yeah, we've seen that one for a couple of weeks. Vine pattern. I guess that's the Anno on it, or whatever the scales are. Model A Juma. Yeah, we saw that one too. I actually saw that one. We looked at something else about that knife. What's going on in the chat? Happy birthday, America. Oh, this is the 3D file you want, Pete.
At HRC 62, 3.3 inch blade, 4.7 inch handle.
You want that stand?
Length of 8 inches. Wow. Stainless cut. At
I don't think that's an actual knife stand.
Pre-order and
I think it's another kind of stand that he
focused. OTF, it just is, and it's
into using
it's
it for
really
a knife.
The only
That's why you couldn't find it.
EDC.
I don't know why you want that one in particular,
USA
but
made OTF.
I could remodel
again,
that one.
You could say that the live wire.
I could probably find it
but
too.
To me, or the Hogue, or any of those, they're all.
It doesn't
more
even look
tactically
symmetrical.
Focused,
Kind of confused
in my
about
opinion.
that.
But this one, I think, is just really. Gosh, I love just sitting here doing this. Super stuff. Definitely. John did send this to me, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm giving you a fair and honest review. But John and his wife.
Yeah, why is it not symmetrical? Why?
Great family.
Why does it have a
good
cutout?
Dude doing cool stuff. Definitely
over there.
Love to support him. But this is Axial did a very good job.
I think that's for something else though that he
know
just uses for a
what
knife
you
stand.
think down below.
Like it's a different 3D file. I'll find the 3D file though.
Pocket. I carried it several days.
Whoops.
You can see here. Now you do have a little bit of play in and out, and you have milling.
I was trying to get a look at it,
which is so.
All right. Let's see. Somebody said about a stop pin not working. Oh, the Buster. Yeah, maybe a baseball. Yeah, it could be for a baseball. Milling, okay, I like highly curl. Oh, pivots. So check this out. I forgot to tell y'all. So there is a post. Let me show y'all. So you can buy. There's a site called Tie Connector. Have y'all heard of the site tieconnector.com? If you haven't, you need to learn about it because they have some awesome stuff. But let me show you what you can do. You can buy pivots that match the actual original so you can get these cool pivots. So you see how you got, somebody just mentioned like they like decorative pivots. Well, Tie Connector sells these pivots that you can put in just about any knife. So these are the Rosie clones with upgraded pivots. And I want to show you. So they make some really cool ones. And you can order them in different sizes. So you go to the shop. And you go to pivot sets. And they have some super cool decorative ones. And you can get them in. Let me show you. So let's just go to one. The size I actually need for the Rosie clones is, hold on just a second. Let me bring up my chat. Because I asked the guy. He said, these are the ones you need to get. 5/16. And then they have 7 different patterns: bullseye, dots, dots and arcs, gears, plain, radial, and radial dots. So I don't know. So I guess they have all the different patterns right here. So you can get that one. You can get that one. You get that one. And the cool thing about these pivots is you can buy titanium pivots, and the barrels, so you choose the barrel diameter and the barrel length, and the barrels are in stainless steel, and then the outside pivots are in titanium, so you can anodize them different colors, and they're not that expensive for a pivot set. So $11 is very reasonable for these hand milled cool pivot sets, and you can get them in all different sizes. So all you got to do is measure your barrel and order accordingly. And he sells all kinds of pivot collars, so you can also put collars around them, custom collars, which he also did in this post. So anyway, I thought that was a super cool way of dressing up your knives. I really like that one. But it's just tieconnector.com is the website. I will throw that in the Discord links and in the chat really quick. All right, folks. Good morning, Waylon. Oh, dang it. So keep it scale stupid. All you need is a pair of calipers. And you can get nicer ones like these stainless steel ones. Or you can get these cheap ones for like $1 or $2 off of AliExpress. This one has cigarette ashes all over it. But all you need is a caliper. This one stays over by my ashtray. I need a battery in it. But all you need is these calipers. So you just and they sell these on Amazon for $10, or you can get a nice set like this for $20. But this set comes with a case and an extra battery and a little screwdriver. But I've got all kinds of calipers, and for $20, this stainless steel one is a nice one. But you can measure 3 different things with these calipers. So a lot of people don't even know how to use calipers, I guess. But you can measure the outside measurements of stuff right here. You can measure the inside measurements of stuff right here. And then you can measure the depth of stuff right here. So let me just show you, for instance. If I wanted to measure the length of this, then I could just extend this and let it touch both ends. And there you go. It's 1.979 inches, or you can switch it to millimeters, so it's 50 millimeters exactly. You can also measure, like the width of the pivot this way. And then if you have a hole in something, like say I wanted to know how deep this hole was, you can take and you can use this thing on the end. So there's a little rod that goes down the entire center. And what you do is you set this on the edge of the hole you want to measure. I don't know if you can see that. And then you roll the little roller down until that little thing touches the bottom down there. And now I know that that hole is 29 millimeters deep from this edge to that hole. So if you're wanting to measure a pivot depth or the inside depth of, I don't have anything right offhand. Like if I wanted to know how deep this hole was in this socket right here, then you take your calipers and you lay the edge of the calipers on the side of that hole and then roll this thing down until it hits the bottom of that hole. And then I know that it's 19.39 millimeters. It's probably 20 millimeters deep. So that's how quick and dirty overview of how you use calipers. Oh, the inside measurement of something. If I wanted to know how big the diameter of this hole was on this knife, then you use these two and you put it on the inside and you pull it until both of those touch on the inside of that hole, just like that. And then you know straight across the middle of that is 14 millimeters. 14.2 millimeters. So you can measure outside, inside, or depth with calipers. So there you go. And keep it scale stupid. These right here are skiffs. So these aren't skiffs. So I've got some real skiffs in here, but so there's a difference between stamped bearings and fully caged bearings. So a lot of knives have stamped bearings like this, to where one side of it is open and the other side is flat. So these are stamped out of metal, and you can see how the bearings aren't fully enclosed. And then skiff bearings are basically like these. These are Chinese versions of skiffs. Skiff just makes bearings specifically made for certain knives, but these are the new ones that they're coming out with that are basically skiffs. But as you can see, these are not stamped. Both sides look the same, and the ball bearings are in the middle, so they're fully caged. So skiff bearings are basically like these. I've got some skiffs in this bag, but I just didn't see the need to dig them out. But you can get replacement bearings to replace those crappy stamped ones with these, and they're a lot smoother bearings. They make your knife action smoother. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to tell y'all that I did do a bearing bounty on a knife, and I got the $5 credit. So I added the that Artisan accelerator. And he added it to his list, and I got the $5 bearing bounty. So if you go to, he said he added it. I didn't actually go look, but I'm imagining he did. But if you go to the bearing compatibility page on his thing, he has all the knives listed that he's found. So Artisan, he said he added it, but he didn't yet. Is that an Artisan accelerator? What am I thinking of the wrong brand? Yeah, I guess, oh, Concept accelerator. Sorry, I don't know why I said Artisan. The Concept. So he did add the accelerator. It works with these bearings right here. But those are skiff bearings. And he has a tool. So the bearing bounty is you can help him expand his compatibility list and send him in. But the cage bearings that I was talking about look like these, and they're multi-row, some of them, where they're offset like that one I just showed you. But they're just better bearings for knives. And then there's the cheat sheet, the test fit card that Pete was talking about. And you can buy new ball bearings too to replace the ones. But that cheat sheet will help a little bit. So it'll help give you the diameter of the pivot, but so will a pair of calipers. And you won't be limited to just these. So those are cool though. They're 16 bucks. All right. Back to the drop point. You use that card almost daily. Why did he put the... It is artisan, isn't it? Why did he put it under concept? I got to message him and tell him. Because I know I sent the right... Why did I... Yeah. It's the artisan. I knew it was. So I guess I need to message him and tell him he put it in the wrong place on the chart. Yeah, he put it under concept. Weird. Yeah, TC, I figured I should have done a bunch of mine. Like I could have that much too, but I just didn't do it. I could still probably get up that much because I've got enough knives in here that he doesn't have on his charts that I could guarantee you I could find a bunch of skiffs. Yeah, you get a $5 code for every one that you contribute. Yeah, here's the artisan accelerator that I anode and put skiffs in. And man, is it smooth with those skiffs. Yeah, I should have done that a long time ago, TC, when I first thought about it, but I still got plenty. I love this knife. Super comfortable. Fits my hands perfect, too. It's a big boy, though. And this light is showing the pretty true colors now. I got the light tweaked to where it shows pretty good color. It's pretty true to life. All right. Let's go back to the drop point, see if there's anything else new. What are y'all looking forward to? He's got the red, white, and blue on the... Let's look at some of the fixed blade drops upcoming. Is that the one? The west slope. There we go. Yeah, be a good bird and fish knife. The flathead fillet knife. Got it in a bunch of different colors. It's a heck of a fillet knife. The Overland Sport Old Glory. Oh yeah, once again, I believe next Thursday that guy's going to come on and maybe talk to us about how he makes his micarta and G10, and hopefully show us some of that. Seeing this pattern made me think of it. But the guy Shade Tree Custom with his composite shop, his micartas, and the guy I met at Blade Show, he's going to come on. I want to see that dollar bill. I want to see the money one and the the blood money. Like that blood money looks super cool with cut up pieces of money in the G10. And that's a great idea because you can get bags of that stuff for basically free once they shred it all, shredded money. And then these two were cool too. This one and the green one. The green one looks like some candy paint, like House of Color. So that guy I think is going to come on next Thursday. I got to message him again, but he said he probably could come on. So we'll get to learn what kind of press he uses and what kind of glues and stuff maybe. I don't want all of his trade secrets, but I'll just ask him if he can tell us, just some general stuff. If he does anything special, I don't want him to give up his secrets, but it will be cool to learn that stuff. All right, what else we got? Oh, William, he put out a post. I talked about this about a week or about 2 weeks ago. But let me show you what he said in his post. So here's the video that he shows. So here's his post. It says, so here it is, the Buster FG with 4 millimeters of the blade worn away. Still flicks hard and works despite having a chunky edge now. Designed it to work with 2 millimeters of wear. Shown in this test is a blade with double the designed wear limit, which is 4 millimeters, as much as the blade thickness itself. The caveat of sharpening beyond the design wear limit is a tiny portion of the edge near the choil needs to be kept unsharpened. However, there is absolutely no adjustment in sharpening being necessary. Okay. This was how I designed it and what deemed was sufficient. With all that said, I understand this might not be sufficient for some, so an update is coming to allow the Buster FG to work with half of the blade being worn away. I will have to see once the VV will be able to get it rolled out. In the meantime, check the video again and understand what is shown is beyond what I designed to be acceptable and still works. But here's his original post on IG. I'll give you a link to that. But he addresses it. Happy 4th, Knives Are Live. So Civivi's going to release a new model where you can sharpen up to half the blade away. With no issues with the stop pin. But this Reddit post shows another video, and I'll send you the link to it too. But this is the video that he shows of it. So you have to leave one little place that's not sharpened at the end. So he had a piece behind it there showing you how much he took off the blade. So that orange piece is what their blade originally started as. And you can see as he sharpened it, if he goes past that, he's going to leave that bottom part but it still works fine. So I hope that answers your question, William. All right, back to where I was at. Sorry. I saw William's question and had to address it. All right, Germs Metalworks Driplet. That's that one that was super cool we saw last week. If y'all didn't see that last week, check out this little thing. That little thing is super cool. It's got an inch-long blade. It's just $75. Damascus 1084 and 15N20. Those little driplets are super cool though. And he's got all kinds of different models. They're all $75. This leaf spring, pretty wild. 4-inch blade and 9 inches overall. It's pretty cool. Alright. Lander 4 dark mode. Dropped yesterday. Hidden Rose Forge, Bear Claw. Kind of blade steel, Magna Cut or AEBL. Cool looking little knife. 3-inch blade. Grip Tech handle. Includes sheath from Badger Claw leather. Why is it flickering? Oh, it was trying to zoom up, I guess. Cool little sheath. Alright. Bear Claw Morin Made Knives MM. What is this? Where's the MM? Wonder if this is it. what did it say the price was on them? 200 at checkout. I'm guessing all these numbered ones are the ones he's talking about. Yeah, so I guess when you add it to cart, yeah, it's 200. It drops it down to 200. So that's pretty cool. What's the size of that one? Nitro V. Don't know what size it is though. Grip Tech. Morin Made. Not sure how big that one is. Think it's gone. Oh, the Blade Binge one. I'm guessing you're talking about the drop, the dark mode lander. Snakebit Doohickey. I think we saw that one already. Chef's Knife F3. Peregrine EDC Cleaver. That's a heck of a beast. It's got a EDC sheath and everything. Let's see how big it looks in hand. There you go, Pete. There's your little EDC utility knife. Cleaver. Yeah, that's super cool. Huh. 4th of July weekend sale. I'm going to add this one to bookmarks because that's a cool little thing. Buzz Bomb. 3-pack for $25. My baby corns. Not sure what. Custom order. Oh, you can get the handles customized. Huh. Well, all right then. The one thing I did like about that was the thumb. Like it looked, the ergos on it looked comfortable, and he put a jimping on the thumb back there. Like it looks, I don't know. That's a cool little cleaver. Seward Knives Bodyguard. Wow, that thing's mean. I bet that's comfortable too. That's a nice looking knife. Yeah, that's what you've said, Pete, about the Mad Yoko knife wax. I like the looks of that one. Yeah, you've showed your Mad Yoko a few times on Instagram. I don't know where to see that, but you've had it on here for sure. There it is. How much is that stuff? Because he had 3 tens for $25 on that last site we looked at. madyoko.etsy.com. Whoops. So it's $18 a 10. This guy's stuff was yeah, he's 3-pack for $25. Wonder how big they are though. 3 tens. Yeah, beeswax, mineral oil, and natural scented extract. I like his hanks though. I mean, they're pretty wild. Huh. Oh, it's $16. All right, instead of $18 plus shipping. What's this double wide EDC? No products. There's all those hanks again. Alright, back where we were. Half-face blades. The O. Alright, that's enough fixed blades. What's going on down here? Some of these that we hadn't seen. Man, I gotta get one of these knives. I gotta get one at some point. What's the Atos? Atos. That's a button lock. Alright, I think we saw that one. Mr. the Titan. Want to get one of those too. Alright, I think that gets through most of the list. You could just buy some beeswax and make your own, Pete. Beeswax and mineral oil and some of those scented oils. Beeswax pellets, you just melt them down into a tin. How much can you get for, how much do they cost? And how much do you get? $7 for 1 pound. 1 pound of yellow. £2 for $10. Bet you could make a lot of wax with that. Just got to get the right mineral oil. I can't even type right. So you just buy some mineral oil, some of that wax, and some scented oils. I've got some scented oils, actually, some of those essential oils, the aromatherapy oils. The drop point is, I guess, for premium. They're usually $200 or more knives. The Crypt, yeah, I like the Crypt, Sever. That's one of the ones. Did you see? Was that you? Who posted that Crypt that they bought? There was somebody dealt. I talked about right here. So he talked about them having the best customer service he's ever encountered, and he got a Damascus kit installed. The guy fixed his knife, like refinished his knife for him for free and everything. And he bought it on the secondary market. But yeah, I like the Crypt. There's only a couple of their knives I like. I like the Automaton and the Crypt. And maybe one more. The Creature. The Creature and the Crypt. They're coming out with the flipper tab deleted one though. That would be cool. Yeah, I like both of those. You put a size comparison of what? Oh, those little tins? Alright, thank you, Pete. But keep it scale stupid. Yeah, the drop point is for more premium knives, I guess. Because they definitely have a whole section for, book spots. And so pre-orders and book spots are usually, but yeah, you can see the prices going out through there. But I mean, they have some knives that are under 200. And actually, I take that back. So right up here at the top, this Rosecraft is only $60. So they always have knives like these, slip joints, that are only $59.99, $70. So they're not all super expensive knives. Like that Finch is $159. That little slip joint. But yeah, most of them are, they are premium knives. Some of the fixed blades, like, you can get them for decent prices. But yeah, like a $75 little, I got to get one of those just to have one. I don't know. I just think that's cool. Wish I could see a video of how it fits into the sheath, how well the retention is. Little neck knife. What is the brand of that? Germs Metalworks. Yep. There's no videos of it. Little neck knife. Look, that one's even got purple going out through the blade. Battle worn green algae. I don't know the behind the egg. I don't know anything about the thing except that I like how it's just a tiny little knife. It's got a 1-inch blade, 3-inch. You can't really see. I wish you'd have better pictures. All right. What else we're going to look at? Sever, what have you gotten recently? What new knives are y'all getting in this week? I got a few coming in this week, I believe. I always do, it seems. I need to start taking this thing apart so I can go bead blast it when I'm done. Oh man, it's got a flathead pivot. Where's my stupid flathead? My screwdriver situation is falling apart over here. I got some come up missing and all kinds of stuff. Oh, you got more from that site? Sever? That's your favorite website now, isn't it? Have you got him to start giving you a 50% off deal yet? Who do like that Hinderer blade? Let's fight. Who don't like it? Who does like it? Hoodoo? Is that like voodoo? Yeah, you botched it. I know Pete does. I don't mind it. It looks a lot different than the standard one. That's for sure. Oh, you got some oh, that's awesome. Sever. Alright, one more part. I should be done. Come on, lock bar insert. Be good to me. Oh wait, there's pivot collars. Well, there's only one pivot collar? Or did I lose the other one? Oh, the other one is on the pivot. I was like, wait a minute. I know I didn't lose no parts to this knife, did I? Alright, lock bar insert screw is coming out nicely. See if the lock bar insert comes out nicely. Yes, come right out. Alright. Got the scales ready to bead blast now. I don't have a Wii. That's a Wii I want. I don't have. I want a Synergy V2 also. 2V2. Synergy 2 V2. Synergy 2 V2. Yeah, I want one of these. You got 2 new Shiros coming. I told you had more money than God. TC. You're over here wanting me to buy you a knife, and you got 2 Shiros coming. Guess I'll have to get this one. Good old Integral.
All right, next up, we had a bunch of new Wii and Civivi drop yesterday. This first is the Synergy V2, or sorry, the 2V2. This is the Synergy 2, which Wii came out with a couple years ago, which was an update of the Synergy, which was not made by Wii, but that was the first integral aluminum handled knife designed entirely in CAD, came with a button lock. We kept the integral construction, but went with titanium and went with a frame lock rather than a button lock, but they maintained the cool handle shape of the original. I mean, check out the contours from that top shot. You've got a really cool kind of spoon style clip here. Literally, you could, it's like a little tiny little teaspoon there on the end, milled out of titanium, of course. This version here, inlaid with a marbled carbon fiber and a new blade shape. It's the 2V2 part. And probably the most, in my opinion,
Yeah, I want one of those. And then, I want a plain. I just wish they made a plain one. It's probably why I haven't bought one. I would get that model if I got one, probably. But I guarantee you that's why I haven't bought one. Which model Shiros are you getting? That's a big wide boy. What model Shiros are you getting? Oh, I did find and order one of those, one of these. So last night, a couple of these were available, and I got one for $67. Mister, you were talking about them being 160 or whatever. That's why I told you. I talked to this guy, and he's gonna, yeah, I want full tie too, Mister. But I was able to grab one of these for $67 last night instead of the 160. So that is on the way. So we get to check that out. This guy said he's going to get some more next week. So I posted this link in the Discord, in the links channel, if anybody wants one. But Mister, if you want to keep up with this link, I'll show y'all everything when I get it. I'm curious about how good the lock works. How the spring works on the lock. Because the lock goes back behind there, you know, and locks it. And I want to know how it does. It looks fun to fidget with in that video. Like, I like that little double detent M390 titanium Neuron too. But the fidget factor on that little thing looks great. He actually, he has another video where he does it a few more times, I think. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it feels once I get it. All right, TC, have a good 4th, buddy. Good morning, Dwayne. How are you today, sir? Happy 4th of July. Yeah, that little thing would be cool to keep around. Oh yeah, I was gonna show y'all the I labeled more of my cases so I could find stuff. So that was cool. Although I'm not finding what I'm looking for. Aha. Right here. Yeah, I won't have to dig through my bags. I printed a bunch of labels the other day. And so the XM18. Oh dang! I thought it was in here. Oh, it must be in my autos. The bag with all my autos in it. No. Well, I'm missing a knife. My hinderer. I don't know where it is. I thought I put it with the other ZT stuff, because he does a lot of ZT knives, but I guess I didn't. It's not with the Kershaws. Hold on, give me just a second. I'm looking through some bags for a knife. A knife. Dang. Aha. One last bag it might be in. I haven't had that knife out forever. I got one that says randoms. Maybe it's in there. Oh, here it is. Alright, I found it. I was going to show you all the regular blade shape versus... This is the XM18 Auto. But not exactly the same. But you can... The cool thing about this Auto is you can take out the spring and make it a button lock. It's one of those you can't flick it because it's locked when it's closed, but you can use the button. But that's the regular blade shape for this knife. Pretty much the same blade shape. I bet it would almost fit. Which blade shape do y'all like better? Dang it, keep dropping stuff. This button lock auto, you can put the spring back in it and make it back into an auto. But I kind of like the button lock version. Hinderers just feel so good in the hand. Especially the XM18, the way it curves back here at the bottom. Like, it just fits your hand perfect. There's something about that curve, man, that some knives get exactly right. And Hinderer, as you can see, it all just touches perfect. Like, no, both of them are fake ones. They say Hinderer on them, though. This is the OK Knives version of the Auto. Like I said, you can't flick it because the blade's locked till you hit the button. But I've got the spring still. I could put back in this one. But it's fun to just use the button to button lock it. This is a mod you can do to the Auto, turn it into a button lock. This is the Eclipse. It's not really an XM18, of course. But yeah, they snap out. That's for sure. And boy, who would have a tip up carry of this thing? I don't know. Well, I gotta get some sleep because we're grilling out this evening with the family. So I'm gonna go bead blast this knife, put it back together, and then get to sleep. But I hope y'all have a great 4th of July. No, I didn't do it yesterday. I haven't done it yet, but I think I'm going to. I thought you were going to do one. I wanted to see what you came up with. I wanted to see your first flipper tab delete, or have you done some before? I like seeing y'all do stuff after you get motivated on here. What is up with this battery cover on my keyboard? Why is it not fitting right? Aha, I had it backwards. Backwards. Yeah, John, I thought you were going to do a flipper tab delete. I was waiting to see yours before I did mine. I gave you that video link where I show exactly how to do it. What was it, episode 36 or something? 30. My memory's not as good as it used to be, but I believe it was episode 36. Let's see. I even linked you right to the time that you needed to go to. It's not 36, it's 35. So right here at this...
You can kind of see it change color as you start to heat
not
it.
35. It's 26 maybe. Hold on. Well, I don't know where it was. Oh, it was Dremel. It was Dremel. It was Dremel. It had Dremel in the title. Number 28. And you just need to start right here at 49 minutes in.
But we're going to start putting a notch, and you can see the way I said that those scales were shaped. There's actually a curve here. Can you see that curve? So little.
But this exact time shows you exactly how.
If you see any here,
and I talk about it the whole way through. So you just start putting a notch in it.
Hopefully you can see. If you can't, hold on. I use my. Give me a second. I'm just. Anyway.
You just start putting a notch in it.
So I'm just gonna start,
and then as you're making the notch, you need to make sure to pull it towards you so it doesn't get pinched in the little groove.
Work up towards the top.
And you just work across it.
Get me a line started.
Get you a line started.
And I'll show
you just keep working that line.
And a good thing to keep it from.
But here, I'm gonna share this starting at right now.
is to always move your Dremel up and down this direction so that you're
I've got a
widening
vice,
the hole
but I like
that you're
sitting
making
watching TV and doing it.
and making enough room for the blade that the blade
And I've never
doesn't get
slipped
pinched.
and made a. And
So
as long
it's
as you
gonna
do it
kick
on the
back
side
when
that
the
I'm
blade gets pinched.
showing, whenever you
And I'm
slip,
hoping you're
it'll go
able to hear
away
me.
from the knife.
I'm trying. I'm gonna
never
have
had
to
any
grind up
issues.
past that to actually get it.
And you pull it
All right.
towards you. But, yeah. Just keep working a little bit at a time. And if you do slip, it'll shoot away from you. And then you get the little drum after you get it cut off.
Sever 7.
Hold on.
Pretty much constantly.
And then you just use the little drum. And as long as you hold it that way, it'll shoot away from you.
Now I've got that looking pretty good and shiny and smooth. But something you need to do is you need to look at it from the end and try to make sure that it's flat with it's 90 degrees with the blade. So it looks like this side is a little higher on mine. So I'm gonna push more and just grind on that side more while I even it out. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm just hitting this side.
Yeah, I just sit here and watch
until they get
TV and
even.
do it. And take my time and let it cool off. And then we reassemble it. Now we got a flipper tab delete. No, if you to we're good. The last ordered it delivery from Home Depot. We're lined up. The back, no lines. It's very shiny. It sits back behind the edge. Good. Knife line's fixed. No more nubs sticking out the side. So anyway, yeah, I've never messed up. Yeah, because the Dremel slips, not the blade, and I really clamp onto it. Like I hold a couple of fingers. Let me show you. I mean, you can do it however you want, but I grip it like this, and I have a real good grip on the blade when I'm doing it. And if anything slips, it's the Dremel. It's not the blade. It doesn't move the blade. And it's locked in. I got my elbow locked, so the blade's not going anywhere. So you just cut right across there. And as long as you're working from this side, it'll never, the way the rotation of the Dremel is, it'll always go that way. It won't ever come back this way. And you can tape off all that if you need to. I've done probably 10 or 11 flipper deletes, and I've never made a mark anywhere but where I wanted. I've never messed up. I mean, I guess I've gotten lucky, or I'm just super careful. But I'm pretty careful. Don't follow my directions. You know, do whatever makes you feel comfortable doing. But if you do follow my directions and start on this side of the knife, it'll always kick away from you if it does pinch. And that's what I was saying. As you're cutting, one of the main things to do is as you're cutting the little groove in there. Pull back and widen out that hole so that the blade doesn't, the disc doesn't get pinched in there, so that the groove you're cutting is wider than the blade. And it's not that hard. But the easiest way, I was just doing that because I was in here on video, but just the easiest way is just go to a belt sander and just push it against a belt sander. Yeah, I guess I've been lucky. I'll get damaged one of these days and change the way I do things, I guess, but I don't seem to be very clumsy. I don't know. I'm lucky with that. But anyway, there's the link starting at the time where I start cutting on it. And I take my time. That took like 45 minutes. I go slow, watch TV, do a little bit, let it cool down, do a little bit more, let it cool down, etc., etc. Well, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a great 4th. Spend some time with your family. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow for episode 170. We're getting closer to that 183 mark. Be 6 months. 2 weeks away today. So anyway, hope y'all have a good one.